The MoneroTopia weekly news segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange.
All right, Tony, how's it going?
Hey, everybody. Good. How are you guys?
Doing all right. Thanks for
You're
coming
traveling
on.
quite a lot. Oh, thank you guys for bearing with me. I got just slammed at work, and then so thank you for patiently waiting.
Not a problem.
All right. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the news section. We have a lot of things to cover, a lot of interesting things, like always. So, the first thing is about the Monero node RPC endpoints that now have 100% fuzzing coverage. Kenny said, "Thanks for having me on, y'all." Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, everybody that jumped on. And by the way, if you guys have anything that you would like us to cover in the news section, you can just drop the link and then I'll pay attention. I'm watching the chat too, or if you guys have anything that you want to say. But yeah, so the Monero node RPC endpoints now have 100% fuzzing coverage. So the proposal summary is that it's been observed that the most commonly reported vulnerability to the Monero HackerOne program were related to RPC vulnerabilities affecting the availability of nodes. And this proposal sought a more proactive approach to catch these vulnerabilities before they were reported and or exploited. And this is what this project was about. And now I'm going to go to this tab. So yeah, the Monero node code base now has greatly improved fuzzing coverage over its most vulnerable component, the RPC, including 100% coverage of RPC endpoints, functions, and 84% coverage of the core RPC server. So this is huge stuff. This improvement is thanks to work by Ada Logics, which was funded and contracted through Magic Grants Monero Fund. And a bit about fuzzing. So fuzzing is an automated code testing technique. Involves providing random or unexpected data as the inputs of a computer program. And then it monitors the program for crashes, potential memory leaks, or other anomalies. And good fuzzing tools can create inputs which are valid enough to be accepted by a program, but are invalid enough to cause problems in corner cases that are not properly dealt with. So, not a good news for Monero, and it just keeps getting stronger, which is good. Then we have CipherGoat. I just wanted to mention CipherGoat in case you didn't know about it. If you'd like to stay up to date with Monero, new stuff, it's a very good website. So you guys can check it out. And then just talks about recent news, price chart, technical analysis a little bit. It has memes as well, funding, all kinds of stuff. So you guys should check it out. Then we have Shoppinbit. So they posted 2 days ago, XMR is #1 used currency for October on Shoppinbit again, which is nice. So Monero is 49.87%, almost 50%, followed by Bitcoin at 44%, and then Fiat 0.61 and Lightning 0.1%. So it's only 1% because you don't accept or just left Zcash off the list. That's funny. Of course, nobody used that crypto for real payments, just for wash trade. That's a funny comment. Yep. Now moving.
That's in many cases. Anywhere where Monero is accepted, it quickly becomes #1 or is #2.
Yes, at least #1 or #2. Then Monero GUI 0.18.4.4 Florine Fermi has been released. It's a recommended release that fixes a bug with Ledger hardware wallet when rejecting secret view key export. So this has been released. Then quickly, I see sometimes posts like this, and then some people may be listening for the first time, so I bring it up. But Fussy Cocker posted on Reddit, "New to Monero, can someone explain to me why it's better than Bitcoin?" And I know I may be asking for a lot, but can someone explain a guy who's desperate for escaping control from governments and who is a true libertarian why Monero is better than Bitcoin in every way? Thanks in advance, and I appreciate it a lot. Then if you look in the comments, I just love the comments and how helpful people are. And I love the ratio of likes to comments, just people helping out and reaching. And there's so many resources nowadays where you can learn about Monero, which is awesome. Versus, years ago when we just had Mastering Monero. Now you have a lot of resources. But yeah, so somebody said, for example, the difference is that the people who made XMR designed to be 100% private, and he talks about that. But somebody else added that the most important thing is that it's fungible. So then it can actually work as cash. So Bitcoin does not have privacy. It's not private by default. Monero is private by default, and it's fungible. It can be used as a currency, which is it's very important, because if you know that this Bitcoin has been used by a criminal or this Bitcoin has been used by some famous person, then it just has more value because you have that information. But when you don't, you don't know, and one unit equals 1 unit, that's what you need to have in a currency. And there's also differences. Like, for example, Bitcoin is using ASICs, and we'll talk about ASICs a bit later, and some issues with ASICs. But in Monero, you can't use ASICs, you use CPU. So a lot of stuff that we can talk about, but these are the main things. Then this is an ad, which I love how people also, when somebody's posting a service on the subreddit, people guide people to post on XMR Bazaar as well, or Monerica. This individual is a New York City math tutor, accepted Monero. So he said, hello, I'm a New York City-based math tutor, currently pursuing my master's degree. I have a prior experience teaching, attended specialized, all this stuff. So yeah, if you guys need this guy for math tutoring, go and reach out to him. And then you can pay in Monero as well. Then privacygateway.io has been launched. This is new, by the way, just as of a couple of days ago. So you can swap Bitcoin, USDT to XMR, RPC node, mine XMR, no bullshit. And this is the website. Now, some people said, yeah, so please treat with caution as this seems new. And there's some people saying that why should anybody pay you 4% for swapping when there are great swaps for under 1%, high fees. So I don't know. It's something new. Check it out if you want. I didn't test the fees, but well, hopefully they're not that high, or at least that they'll drop. But check it out. Wait, sorry. There we go. That's the website. So yeah, you can swap RPC node, mining pool. So check it out, and always be careful because it seems to be a new business. Then I like this quite a lot. So Monero is getting harder to access. Hence, this person is launching Ghost Drip, a small project, but one I'm proud of. The person said, it automates DCA into Monero. No KYC. Every DCA platform wants your ID. Ghost Drip is the first one that doesn't. We deserve tools that respect privacy. And I haven't been on their website, so we'll do it together for the first time. Let's check it out. Okay, so it says it's risky. Okay. I guess we'll proceed anyway. It's not working. Okay.
So blocked.
And I'm gonna get a virus. Oh wait, sorry. I just canceled the whole screen. Hold on. Okay.
He got hacked, guys.
It's over. Thanks. There we go. Okay. Body said Ghost Trip is a really good name. Yeah, it's a good name. It's solid marketing. I just wish that it worked. How's it different than just using Trocador app directly? Ghost Drip automates it. Trocador is great for one-off swaps, but for Ghost Drip, schedules them weekly, monthly, triggers them off on-chain with your allowance, then auto deletes the strategy after execution or failures. That's cool. So it is cool. I wish it was working. So hopefully next time it's gonna work, and hopefully nothing happens to my computer. So I am on a Windows, and it's Windows 10 too. And they are dropping support for it. But moving on, Binance US bring back the cypherpunks, and then when you see something like that, you just gotta go in the comment section, and it's quite funny. Untraceable posted, impressive, very nice. Now let's see the comment section. And this is nice. Schmidt posted when they deleted Monero and some other ones. So yeah, I guess if it's time to bring back the cypherpunk, then bring the OG back. But they're not gonna do it, of course. Then let's see. Privacy Watch. So a lot of things being launched. Nikita's launching Privacy Watch. It's a tracker for leading privacy cryptos that ranks them by total shielded supply rather than plain market cap. Featuring Monero, of course, number 1, Zcash, second, Zeno, Pirate Chain, Litecoin, and more to come. I did not click on this one, so we'll do it live again. And it works. Cool. This one works. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool, actually. So we have Monero, obviously, Zcash, Zeno, Pirate Chain, and then they can add more. Then you have the dominance, overall dominance, the privacy method. This is really cool. Bit of price, shielded, obviously 100%. In Zcash, 29.96%, which is not much at all. Zeno, 100%. Pirate Chain, 100%. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. And then let's see what else. Okay, let's get into this. Talks about it if you have more things to add on this one, because I'm not sure what to add. But so Trace Salon uses Crescent Discovery for their Monero investigations.
This looks like it was from over a year ago.
Yeah, I think. How did I get this one? I think somebody posted. We can probably. I think I've seen it on Reddit or something. I don't know. That's about Tracy Monero and stuff. Actually, I think we can just skip this one. Let's just do that, and let's go into Bitcoin and Epstein. So, because we talked about it last time too, and then we'll talk about it a bit more. And before we actually get into this post, we'll go on this article from MXC. Newly released documents detail Epstein's influence on Bitcoin's early development, which is interesting. So the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform recently released new documents that revealed Jeffrey Epstein's hidden financial influence. And he donated quite a lot of money. The records show that Epstein assisted MIT's digital currency initiative by providing funding for Bitcoin Core development. So make what you want out of this, but of course it's interesting, and we got to talk about it. Epstein accused of funding Bitcoin Core development. At the center of this development is Joichi Ito, the former director of the MIT Media Lab. The Media Lab is a renowned interdisciplinary research hub focusing on media, technology, and innovation. Ito was instrumental in steering the lab towards blockchain and digital currencies. I'll read most of this because it's just worth it. So I'll just read it verbatim. But in 2015, amid Bitcoin's volatile early years, Ito launched the Digital Currency Initiative, DCI, under the Media Lab. The DCI aimed to advance blockchain research and provide stable and sustainable funding for long-term Bitcoin devs. The new documents from the House Committee on Oversight now reveal that Ito relied on funds from Epstein to launch DCI, and quite a bit of money. So in 2017, Epstein facilitated at least $750,000 in donations to DCI. This included gift funds that Ito thanked Epstein for in an email titled Digital Currency Initiative, which you can see here from Jeffrey Epstein, subject Digital Currency Initiative. And for your information, use gift funds to underwrite this, which allowed us to move quickly and win this round. Thanks. He explained that 3 major developers, including Vladimir van der Laan and Corey Fields, agreed to join MIT. The email highlighted that some money came from prominent academics, including IMF economist Simon Johnson and cryptographer Ron Rivest. The document also uncovered Epstein's early fascination with Bitcoin. Ito handed his resignation in September 2019 after the investigations revealed that the prestigious research facility had received funding from Epstein. That's wild. And MIT had disclosed that Epstein had donated a total of $850,000 to the institution, of which $525,000 was directed at the Media Lab. However, investigative journalist Ronan Farrow claimed that the MIT Media Lab had received $7.5 million, which is a huge difference, via Epstein. This is besides an anonymous $5 million donation from Epstein associated Leon Black, and talks about this stuff. So make what you want out of it. I still think it's very interesting. And then we'll go to this one posted by Parallel Mike. And he said, so Bitcoin now joins the Grand Epstein Pedo Conspiracy Matrix recent email dump reveals core devs were on his payroll. I think this finally complete the Bitcoin PSYOP bingo card. And yeah, this actually doesn't have much relevant information, but yeah, so that was that. Bitcoin and Epstein. Then FCMP++ Stressnet V version 1.5 is almost done with big memory and syncing fixes ready, and the update expected within days. So that's amazing. Then let's talk about ASICs, because we talked a little bit about it in the beginning. So this is precisely why I don't like ASICs, says Monero Bull. And we're going to go on this article from Cointelegraph. So Bitcoin ASIC producer Bitmain under US investigation over national security risk. And Bitmain is quite dominant in the space. So this is not good. But the US authorities are investigating Chinese Bitcoin mining hardware giant Bitmain over potential national security risks tied to alleged remote capabilities. So they are leading Bitcoin mining application-specific integrated circuit manufacturer. Bitmain, they're based in China, and now there's an Operation Red Sunset for them. This investigation, led by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, reportedly seeks to determine whether the ASICs could be remotely controlled for spying or to sabotage the U.S. power grid. So the U.S. authorities previously investigated Bitmain-linked Chinese chip designer Xiaomen Sofco over an alleged business relationship with the U.S.-sanctioned company Huawei in October 2024. All these things, the consequences for the U.S. crypto mining industry could be far-reaching, since Bitmain controls over 80% of the Bitcoin mining ASIC market, according to a Cambridge report, which is huge. It's very dominant. Chinese dominance in the industry is even more ironclad, with both Bitmain and the second largest manufacturer, MicroBT, based in mainland China, controlling 97% of the market share on their own. So this is big, and this is why we don't allow ASICs, so we don't have problems like this in Monero, and that's why you run your CPU.
Supply chain is much easier to control when it's manufactured ASICs.
Yeah. What a news. Wow. Just so many less things to worry about when you're just fungible, private, you just run your CPU. So many things are out of the equation. And it's truly decentralized. It's hard to go door by door and do you run a node? Do you run a node? So now, let's see, we have just a bit more. This one we'll go over it. It's a bit sensational. Definitely sensational. So we finally know why the market crashed on 10th of October and why it just can't bounce, by Ren and Neuner. And, make what you want of it. So he wrote, we never really understood why the big crypto crash started on October 10th and why we couldn't even get a single meaningful bounce. There's been some bounces, not too big, but yeah. Today the answer seems simple. Let me break it down. That's like MSTR, BMNR, and others have been one of the two big buyers that power the cycle. But the AT game is simple. You need to be the biggest so you get the big indices. And when you do, passive index trackers are forced to buy large amounts of your stock. As they do, you get bigger and get added to more indices. And so the cycle perpetuates. On exactly 10th of October, MSCI, the world's second biggest index company, published the below. They're questioning whether companies that hold crypto assets as the core business should be considered as companies or funds, which is interesting. If they are funds, they are not included in passive indexing. Why? Because this creates a circular loop. The fund buys assets, gets bigger, and then is included in more indices and buys more assets. The expected ruling will be announced on 15th of January 2026, and if this does pass, the companies like MSTR will be automatically removed from all indices. I can't wait to talk about this. That'll be quite some news to talk about next year. If this happens, it would mean that all the pension funds, normal funds, and all other passive index holders would dump their MSTR automatically. It would also mean that going forward, they would never be included. And as such, one of the big reasons why they actually exist would disappear. Since that's have been powering the cycle and have been most of the buying pressure, the smart money saw this immediately after the 10th of October announcement and positioned accordingly. The 10th of October wasn't a coincidence after all. It was a smart money, seeing a big risk to crypto and the current market structure. The market will probably continue to dump until around the end of December, and if the announcement is negative, we will get a huge dump in preparation for the removal from the indices. For sure, it's going to dump. On the other hand, if it is positive, the bull market is back. Now, make what you want of it. Is this a reason? I don't know, but it was worth a read. And this just takes me back to, we talked about it on the news, about how before it all went down, how this individual or company, fund, I don't know, somebody just shorted Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they made just massive amounts of money, $300 million on it going down, just crazy money. But yeah, so make what you want of that. This one is from Tux. Private anonymous currency getting too popular? Can't let that happen. Shut it down. And this is Monero dropping. Yeah, but whatever. It's gonna come back. And we gotta go for the highs. Hopefully we can break it soon in 2026. What KYC, and somebody wrote in the comments, what KYC exchanges list Monero? Kraken, MEXC, DEX, Poloniex, and KuCoin. Oh, KuCoin. Oh, wow, I didn't know they have it. I haven't used it in a long time. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about the Samurai Tornado Cash situation a bit, and then that'll be it for this week. So in April 2024, two Bitcoin software developers, Keone Rodriguez and William Bill Lonergan Hill, were arrested in their homes in a pre-dawn militarized raid. They have now been sentenced. Please read, bookmark, and share this official support website. This is the support website, and I really love it. Behind every line of code, there's a family, and I have thought about this. It's not just they're in jail, and it's very horrible, but people have a life, and families, aspirations, dreams, and it's a long time. I think it's 5 years, right? It's a long time. So sign a petition. Donate to the families if you can. This is dumb. And then Bill and Keone aren't faceless crypto criminals. They're passionate software engineers with families, hobbies, and a deep commitment to digital privacy rights. Here's a closer look, and then I'm going to read about both of them. First, about William, a 67-year-old talented software developer with deep roots in New York. Bill co-founded Samurai Wallet after working with Keone. He's not just a coder, he's an innovator who poured over a decade into creating non-custodial tools that empower users without controlling their funds. His passion highlights the human side of tech and an unrelenting passion for fundamental privacy rights. And then a bit about Keone, a 37-year-old American software developer from Florida. Keone co-founded Samurai Wallet in 2015 to promote Bitcoin privacy. He's a dedicated innovator who built tools used by everyday people to protect their financial data. As a family man, Keone's work stemmed from a belief in personal freedom. He's fighting for a more private world for all of us. Yeah, so if you can, sign and donate. It's very sad over just pure stupidity. But that's how the world is. Now I have two more from Lola. Let's go into this one. And I like her post a lot. So a lot of people seem confused as to the consequences of the Samurai Wallet and the Tornado Cash prosecutions, claiming that they deserved what was coming because their software was used by criminals. Which is the people that say that you don't need privacy and all these things, like you got nothing to hide. And I love this analogy. Someone recently made the analogy to Toyota, which will hopefully help some of the critics understand what is going on here. Toyota builds some of the most durable trucks on the planet. Toyota is the car brand of choice for ISIS because of their durability. Toyota knows that ISIS uses its trucks. Toyota never sold trucks to ISIS. By analogy, the US government does not have the proof that Toyota ever actually engaged with criminals who bought their cars. To convict them, it is not that. They knew that criminals were using the cars. They knew that the cars would be attracted to terrorists because of their durability. Conspiracy. I love this comparison. The above points are the main arguments that have led to these convictions. The difference is that for trucks, it is easy for people to understand why others, besides terrorists, may have a use for durability. When it comes to privacy, and especially financial privacy, it is extremely hard, for some reason, for the average mind to comprehend why a normie would want to use these tools, despite less than 10% of volume having been found illicit in both cases. People should not be held accountable for what other people do with the tools they build. Same with knives. Everybody has knives. Some people do choose, unfortunately, to do very malicious things with it, but most of us don't. So I really love this analogy, and then this next one from her ties into it as well. It talks about the crypto industry's $28 billion, dirty money thing. The New York Times talked about it. But if you get, so they talk a lot about how the criminals use crypto to launder and so much money and billions of dollars and all these things. But when you account of just the totality of transactions, it's actually not a lot. It's not a lot. And then how much crime is being conducted in the US dollar, just immense amount of money. You can't even compare. But of course they take these things, which is, it's $28 billion is a lot of money, but in comparison to the totality of the transactions, it's not that much. It's still significant. There should still be no crime, but for that you need to actually take some action, as in try to better the economy and the overall education of the country, so that these things, crime doesn't happen as much. But yeah, so let's go into this article. The ICIJ has published a series of articles on Bitcoin's use in money laundering, and it mainly operates from the premise that any transaction that is operated without KYC AML is suspicious of a crime. These are dangerous generalizations that leave absolutely zero room for the fact that every person has a right to and legitimate use of privacy, and that the assumption of said right should not put a target on my back if we value to live in a democracy. Throughout the series, the journalists assume that KYC AML does, in fact, stop criminals from making transactions in the financial system, while the only instances of criminals transferring funds were found on centralized exchanges like Binance, which have KYC AML in place. Actually, yeah, there's many cases in which criminals just go back into these centralized exchanges and try to pull out the money, which is so dumb. God. Are crypto-to-cash services useful for money laundering? Sure, but they are also useful to people who cannot afford a bank account, activists who live under oppressive regimes, or women who experience domestic violence. There's it helps a lot of people. You can transfer money around the world when you can, and I've seen, I read posts on Reddit about people in Africa that would mine crypto and make a nice income from it. There's so many use cases. Not just money laundering and it's all bad and blah, blah. Yet the New York Times, which was involved in the investigation, titles that it identified $28 billion in illicit funding, painting it as a systemic dirty money problem, a number presented without a context. Because if you look at it, wow, 28 billion, that's a lot, but let's look into the context. When it is put into context, it quickly becomes clear that what these publications have identified here is not so much a systemic problem than an absolute niche in the industry, which did over 18 trillion in volume in 2024 alone. I wonder what is going to be for 2025, meaning that the publications identified a mere 0.15% of global cryptocurrency funds to be illicit. And this is just in crypto. Just think about Forex. That's a lot of money. Just trillions of dollars every day being rotated, moving around. So this is not much. It's still, it's a lot. 28 billion is a lot of money. But so if anything, this investigation proves that Bitcoin has a much lesser money laundering problem than any other financial industry in history. Robbers, scammers, and human traffickers should be held accountable for their crimes. Absolutely. Demonizing an entire sector on baseless claims is not going to make it happen. Sure, it is interesting, though, that this misleading framing is published right as Congress is debating how to regulate non-custodial services. Yeah, so these are big topics. But just let's go a couple, 5 years in the future or 10, and then now we can't make any transactions over €1,000, $1,000 without reporting it, and everything is reported. Now they know everything. There's a digital euro, digital dollar. Every single transaction is going to be monitored. Do you think that there's going to be less crime, and the whole world is going to be benevolent and all these things? No, I don't think so. may become even more violent when people are going to realize how they're being tracked and how in the future they can't go to that country or whatever because, digital IDs, and they haven't been a good citizens, and now their social credit dropped, which they already have in China, which is insane. So yeah, they can put all these things in place. No privacy, or some privacy, but it's really no privacy what they want to give you. And yeah, there's gonna be no crime, sure. We'll see, but that's not gonna happen. XMR supporting anti-war, love it. Yeah. All right, guys. So this was a new section. I hope you enjoyed it. Lots of good stuff to talk about every week. Yeah, it doesn't get boring at all in this space. There's always things to talk about. Running Man 2025. Yep.